Reshus, if I may say, my beloved colleague, friend, and I'm honored to say student, Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Gavriel Moreno, Rav Gavriel Shlita. It's actually, you have no idea what nachas this is to say that. My dear friends, rabbis, chairman, members of the executive and the board. Where's Effie? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, good evening. I'm sure that people here probably expect me to follow suit and do some of a typical rabbinic sermon, finding some kind of quasi-appropriate chazal and parsha shavua, and some kind of a vague artificial connection to the event in the evening, and this would be probably the most appropriate thing to do. But as you know, thank God, I must say, my father made me promise not to be a pulpit rabbi. So I was either going to be a lawyer, that didn't work, I guess, because of Rav Goldficht, or a teach Torah. Well, thank God, I'm a teacher of Torah, of Talmud, of morals, ethics, Jewish thought, and not a practicing pulpit rabbi. Thus, I'm not confined or constricted to the typical drasha sermon style. Hallelujah. Another thing which I will not do, I will not embark on some road of nostalgia, talking about the good old days of the Hesder Revolution, of the reintroduction of the book to the sword and the sword to the book. No, I will not do that. Because thank God, that innovation is no more a chiddush. That is actually normal. It is a norm. It is not just accepted, it is expected. And therefore, I feel no necessity to start talking about the greatness of it. It's as clear as day. So that's not what I will talk about today. What I do choose to talk about today, the issue I choose to talk about is the future. To what extent is or can Karen Biavna be relevant in this fast unfolding human saga which we are experiencing in front of our eyes day after day? To what extent can Karen Biavna be relevant in a world which has become so shallow, so pleasure-seeking and hedonistic, a world in which the question why is rare and ceases to be heard, a world that looks for experiences and doesn't care about thinking, a world in which morals, ethics change with the weather, where the truths of yesteryear have been discarded, cut, and deleted. That world, can Karen Biavna contribute to do something about that? That's the real question. Can Karen Biavna be a facilitator of absolute theological truths in a postmodern world? World of relative subjectivity, a world in which religions, if it all exists, represent nothing more than experience and opiate to the masses, and does not even demand truths anymore. This, my friends, this challenge is not just of Karen Biavna. It's the challenge of Judaism as a religion in this unfolding, crazy world. Will people, can we teach truths? Or must we only give high-rolling experiences? Can a truth prevail? Can we succeed? That is the real challenge for the future. You know, Prophet Yeshayahu proclaimed, Kol hanikra b'shmi, all called by my name, equals all of creation and human experience. Lichvodi, 'tis for my glory. Brativ yitzaltiv afasitiv, I have created it, I have formed it, I have made it. All which exists, all human experience, is there for us to declare God's presence and His truth. Kavod Shemayim. This is our ethos, and this is our agenda. Our existence as a nation, as a people on the stage of history, is but for one purpose only. Live, breathe, walk, and talk the revelation of Sinai to transmit the message to humanity in all its stages of history, wherever humanity is, was, or will be. It is our job, and that's why we're here, for one reason only, Kavod Shamayim. Without that, the plug would be pulled, history would stop. Kavod Shamayim means God awareness. We're living within a sense that we do stand in front of God with an acute God awareness, sometimes conscious, but at least lying in the subconscious, subterranean caverns of our minds, governing our reactions, our feelings, the way we see things, the way we interact. Sinai must not be tied down in a cave or a ghetto, but rather it must engage the positive aspects of Western culture and human experience, becoming enriched by those experiences and enriching them and giving them a compass and direction. That is where Sinai must be. Torah cannot and will not be modified, for it carries absolute truths. What must be changed, what we must learn to do, is learn a language which will be able to transmit those truths to all ears at all stages. It's a challenge. Not easy. It's very easy to close your eyes and live in a ghetto and forget the world. Forget society, forget the world around us. Yes, I'm sure we can make Talmidei Chachamim living in a Tevis Noach. But that's not what God wants. Kol hanikra b'shmi, everything, all of human experience, lichvodi, brativ, yitzaltiv, af asitiv. We must find, reveal, and teach. Kavod Shamayim. Wherever, whatever we do and we go. Yes, the success of KBY, my friends, is you. This is a bit emotional, but it's true. I look around the room. This is the success of KBY. It's young men who rise to that challenge. You live a life of deeply religious, intellectually honest Bnei Torah, and I repeat the words, deeply religious, intellectually honest Bnei Torah, carrying a deeply embedded moral compass. All this not in a cave, not in a ghetto, but rather functioning as citizens of the world, of humanity, enriched with and enriching it. Yes, it is you who walk head high, proud of your religion, your Sinaitic truths, whether in the laboratory, whether in the clinic, whether in the office, whether in the marketplace, and obviously guess so, or even the rabbis in the pulpits. And I'm going to say the teachers in the classrooms. We all must do and do the same thing. This is the beauty of our yeshiva. Yes, we have a future. Because hell, if we've done it so far, There's no reason we can't do it more. It's just a question of language. It's just a question of broadening out your perspective. It's just a question of giving deeper understanding to your values. And then you can sail and take it wherever it is. On a personal note, I've been asked if this is a retirement party. No. I must have been asked like 7 times tonight. No, 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 and no.
We will honor you again when you're 80.
Effie, I'll keep you to that word. But on a personal note, right? I am entering my 41st year of Avdus, the Klal Yisrael. I use the Lashon of Avdus as the Lashon of the Netziv in the Shuvas. I mentioned Friday night service means, yeah, you're a Honoree. An Eved means to see somebody who has no agenda of his own. He lives only the agenda of his Adon. My Adon is Keren B'Avne. My Adon is Klal Yisrael. Kvod Shamayim. The unique Kvod Shamayim of Keren. I am very proud to say, I sometimes think you'll prick my veins and you get KBY walking out. And I'm not joking. And I want to wish that you should feel the same way. I pray that you should feel the same way. Keren B'Avne is not just a school, it's the womb that nurtured, it's the umbilical cord, it's everything. It's where you're born and where you're formed. As Rashiva Zechor Nevuch used to say, there's 2 types of boys. There's the boy that never left. That's like the Hotel California boy. He checks out, but he can never leave. And there's the guy that simply was never there, even when he was there. You were all there, and you've all never left. So first of all, thank you. But again, I think the first thing I must do, if this is anything which is correct, is to say a birchas haidah and gratitude. First of all, I have to say gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is a bit, I don't usually do this. I'm a bit more reserved, but it's been an emotional evening. Not that Narishkeit. I mean, just seeing the boys, the guys, it's like, yeah, my good old friend Leon Well. I know him since I'm a baby. I think of the people here which developed from young 17-year-old whippersnappers into Gavra, people that are doing, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to say, thank God you're all different. Oh, that would be boring if you'd be the same. So we thank you for being who you are. But first of all, I have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know what? Just for making me who I am. And without explaining the depth of this sense, and charging me with the charge of making this a better world. I thank him for that job. I've got to thank my beloved Suzanne. First of all, for somewhat successfully making me a better person. You didn't know me before. No. If I scream now, I'm nice. So first of all, honestly, Suzanne, you've made me a better person. And obviously, this is the honest truth without, I think people know that, supporting, advising, always being there. This would not have happened without you. I don't mean this is garnish. I mean, Keren B'Avne, 40 years of Abatis Torah, of changing people, the world, would never have happened alone. I wouldn't have been me, and this wouldn't have happened. So, thank you. There was very deep emotion, of course, at Toiv. I remember with gratitude and respect the memory of Moreno Rabbeinu, the Rosh Yeshiva, and his Rebbetzin, Zichrono Livracha. I can't encapsulate in one sentence what I owe them. I'll just say that I thank them for inviting me to join the KBY family. You know, I cherish the memory of the person that I saw as my mentor in leadership, Moreno of Eli Klein, Zichrono Livracha. You know what he taught me? For me, this was a hard lesson to learn. The Soid Ashtika. I'm not joking. The Amor Ma'at Vaseh Harbe. I owe to Eli Klein. Zichrono Livracha. His wife have be healthy, never richas yomim. You know, obviously I have great hakosha tov to my dear friends, colleagues, people that I bear the burden with them, but I learned so much from them. Moreno Rabbeinu Reb Motche Greenberg Shlita, and Moreno Rabbeinu Reb Avram Rivlin Shlita. Let's just say I learned a lot from their moral compass. Their natural honesty and truth, which guides them, their healthy value systems, they contributed a lot to whatever my sensitivities are. So I owe them. That's the truth. You know, I can't stand here without being makir toiv to a great man. He was the president of the board, chairman of the board. He was everything in the board. Mr. Bernard Hochstein, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. I don't know if you know how much KBY owes him. Him, his children, grandchildren, which continue in his ways. That is a person which I haven't been in the background and seen. We owe him a lot. KBY would not have been anything close to what it is without that man. So once again, Hakor Satayv is mechayiv to mention that. I can't see this here without that. And if I may mention those chairman members of the board which I worked with closely in recent years, specifically my friends, Mr. Michael Hochstein, Avinoam Ben Nun, and Yossi Wasserman. I don't think it's the place to elaborate, but let's just say in turbulent times, they held the rudder tightly and they steered us to good places, so we owe them. One day, when we write a new book, you will learn what we owe them. Yes, Hakor Satayv is mechayiv to mention those names. But you know what? Hakor Satayv is also due to Hanit Treit Sancher Dedava, those two new Rosh Yeshiva. I'm honored, I'm sorry to say, yes, my students. It is tremendous nachas. You don't begin to understand what it is. I put a lot of effort in this. That these two men, Moreno of Gavril, Moreno of Aaron, took the mantle to take yeshiva further, and they're doing an unbelievable job. I really want to wish, pray with everything I have that just take it further. Just do what you're doing, it's good. It's unbelievable. But the truth of the matter is, my friend, gratitude is true to most of all to you, all of you. Can I say, my beloved students, I do love you all. You've successfully, you're the true honorees of this evening. It's not me. You know that. The honorees of this evening is KBY, who successfully made people who walk tall with their Yiddishkeit, Barei Das, Morde Kula Alma. People who think and feel. Balei Moyach Velev. With a beautiful synthesis, with a deep embedded moral compass. You are the honorees, and that is the truth. You are the reason that I am happy to be in KBY. And I'm sure that it's through you it'll continue further. Thank you. Just thank you so much for letting me know that this utopian vision is not just utopian, it actually can be realized. And it's walking on two. A lot of twos here. So, I had a dream, and it happened. Baruch Hashem. But at the end of the day, one cannot rest on laurels. It's nice to know it did pretty good, but you can't rest on laurels. The challenges are so big. Like, I'd be frightened to be a teenager today. The challenge is so big, and people have to learn new languages. This goes to my students, which are high school teachers and high school educators. It goes to us, Yeshiva G'dayla Eretz Yisrael. The language will change and is changing. The challenges are different, and if we don't rise to them, God help us. We will. You can. We can. All we need is prayer, wisdom, and a vigorous commitment to that call of history, Kavod Shamayim. It's an honor and pleasure to celebrate all this tonight. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for continuing to be who you are. I thank you very much.